Looks like it's twice of you near my voice. Awesome, awesome, possum. Good morning, everybody. I hope you're all doing terrific. So we're just starting off with like a tiny little bit of a lecture right before we officially kick off this group project work, just so we can all be on the same page about how the branching is actually going to work and all of that. Also, please note, inside of the project itself, right, there are two files. There is the README, as well as this groups.md. Ignore that. That's not our class. But this is how you should start off. You should assemble into groups. You should pick an app name for yourselves, get acquainted with Trello, discuss the project, agree on roles, review sample group norms, and establish your own, right? Add this to a ticket on Trello. Start working on wireframes, draw a pen and paper, break down the project into 7 to 10 major tasks, add them as tickets. Bless you. You're welcome. Break down the major tasks into some smaller, Jenny's giving me the eye, add them to ticket/cards, and then, so this, you should wait to actually write code until John, Jenya, or myself actually approves your Trello board and your plan. Okay, so that includes creating a schema and what things should look like, right? That doesn't necessarily have to be the code for the schema, just what it looks like, the true definition of schema, right? Okay, so John and I are going to show you how we would go about doing this project. This is for once you actually have been approved and it was time to start coding, yeah? So in our group, I think I'm the technical lead. Yeah, just in a second. So I'll be the technical lead. So I'm going to go ahead and fork this repository. So I'm going to fork it. I'm going to fork it to my page. Hopefully this seems familiar, right? Okay, so now I have this forked repository. So I'm going to go ahead and clone or download it. And I'm going to go to my terminal. Oops, I should have said git clone. Whoops. All right, well, let's just do that and say git clone and paste that in. Okay, so now I've cloned my website, cloned this project, the one that I forked. So I'm going to go in, cd into it, Pursuit Core Web Express Group Project, and I'm going to go ahead and open code for that. Not quite yet, Joe. In the meantime, I'm also going to go into my repository and I'm going to go into my settings. And I'm going to go to collaborators. Let me know if you can't see. I've zoomed in a bit more though. I'll go to my collaborators. And I'm going to, I have to add my password. Hopefully I can remember it right now. They keep making me change it. Show me the money. Yes. Okay. And inside of collaborators, I'm going to add the members of my team, which are just John today. So I think his is Expect Pro 93 or something. Yeah. Great. Were you born in 93?
No.
Odd. Okay. So I'm going to add John as a collaborator, and that's going to send an email to whichever account he uses for his GitHub. You don't need to see that part. He's going to go into his email and accept that he is a collaborator. Okay?
All right, got it.
Any questions so far? Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead into our project. Come on now. Let's open this full screen. All right, so why do I have nothing in here? That's not right, is it? Let's check something. I am in this project. Let's go. Just going to open it. I should have at least a README.
think you're not required to have a readme. It has a check at the bottom when you before you fork it says readme. It's an optional readme. It's not something that automatically happens.
Yeah, all right. So I'm going to assume that this is the project. Check my terminal to make just ls. Doesn't seem like I'm in the right spot. I don't think I'm in this project. I think something weird has happened. I'm gonna quit my, yeah, it might have had to do with that weird message that we saw a second ago. I'm just gonna reopen it. Hopefully this will work. Okay, and there everything is. Okay, so I don't know. I think my VS Code just had a small glitch in the matrix kind of thing. Okay, so let's pretend that I'm interested in doing, like, obviously your sprints should be smaller and more precise, right? But for my purposes right now, I'm going to pretend that I'm just doing large portions. Okay, so this is the master branch, right? If I check get branch, I'll say get branch, and we'll see that I'm on the master branch. So I'm going to go ahead and make a new branch right now. I'm going to call it front end. So I'm going to say get checkout-b, and I'll say front end. And I have now switched to this front end branch. Any questions on that so far? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and create a folder. And I'm going to call it front end. And inside of my front end, I'm going to just create an index.html file. I should spell that right. .html. And in my HTML, I'm just going to write some basic empty HTML. I don't know if it's going to actually, I don't know what's going on with my VS Code. Okay, that's all I need anyway. I don't care if any of it runs because this is just an example. Jones?
The checkout-b front end, it creates the new branch.
That created a new branch called front end. Very good. Okay, so I've created this branch. I'm working on this branch, and I've created this front end folder. So I'm going to go ahead and do my git status. All right, I created a front end folder, right? I'm going to go ahead and do my git add. I'm going to do a git status. Okay, that's what I'm adding. Git commit m, and I'm going to say create front end folder, right? Try to make descriptive, present tense, short commit messages, right? You should commit frequently. Other people will be seeing your commits, and other people on your team. Now, obviously, let's pretend I just finished this feature, essentially, right? So I'm going to go ahead and push it. So I'm going to say git push origin front end. So I'm pushing this branch that I created. Okay, and if we go back to our GitHub, if I go here, right, we'll see we're currently on the master branch. There's still just README in groups, but I've also now got a front end branch that I can look at. And from my front end thing that I can look at all of its code, and then I can go back to the master branch. All right, so now let's spend a little bit of time and exist in Jonathan's world, shall we? So I'm going to go ahead and create a new incognito window. So Command-Shift-N, that way he'll be in here, and we can go to github.com. And John, do you want to walk us through?
Just gonna sign in.
Remember, John is my other teammate. We're switching roles so it's more clear who's doing what parts. That's how long your password is.
Yep.
Hat. Oh, got you.
Now I'm going to my project. Actually, is this one?
It will be at Corey.
No, I think. No, that was
That's
the old
fine.
one. Should I have created?
Where was the message last? Did you go to-
Oh no, I got it from the email, and then I just got the email. I mean the.
Okay, so you can actually get to it from the email, but from
Uh,
me, just go to maybe my repository.
Corey. Nope.
So go to github.com/Corey.apps. That's it.
Okay.
Go to my repositories. And that's the one.
Okay.
Okay, great. So you can see that there are currently 2 branches, 8 commits from other people, Galeno and his class and probably that. Okay, so do you want to? So now he's going to clone the project from my fork repository. This is one way to do it. You could do it a different way. So if you slide over, you go to the terminal.
Okay.
Keep going. One more. Just go to a different file. CD one more. Okay, go for it.
Now there's the clone. Right. And then just CD.
And then you do so.
Oh my God, there's so many. Shoot. Express. Yeah.
There we go. Right, he's just navigating into his clone. I've cloned it into different files so that you can see like as if we're on different computers.
I'm just gonna open it now.
And so first thing you might notice is it's the original master branch there, right? It still just has groups. It still has the README. You do not see my front end, right? Because I just created that. I have a branch there, but I haven't done anything with that branch. So John's going to go ahead and make a back-end branch because we've split our project into just 2, and that's how we're doing it. I did front end. He's going to do back end. So he's going to make that folder. He's going to CD into it.
And I'm gonna create app.js, right? Oops.
Okay.
Right.
So now he's going to open up his app.js. Yeah, Kevin? Oh, he should have.
I should have.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go back.
Okay. Yep.
Yes.
So is it gonna be like
You can just do get branch right now.
each group member has like their own branch that they're in charge of now?
Yeah, so your branch is you're going to create a new branch every time you're working on a new feature. Okay? Just go ahead and create your branch right now. You don't have to remove everything that you've done. Because he hasn't done any commits or anything, you can switch branches and then make a commit. So you just say back.
Back. And right.
Perfect. Okay, and let's just put a little like hello world in here.
All right.
App.js. Right, so this is quite the app.js. Yours should be better. Hello class, great. Let's save it. I don't want
Oh, you have the auto-save.
No, of course not. I want complete control over every second. Okay.
Just checking your.
Why? Because sometimes I don't want things to save yet while I'm working on it. It will break other things in the middle.
I'm gonna add it.
I highly recommend learning to just do the command F. Making it a habit. Let's do quick git steps. Just so we can see the changes. Great, so we've got our backend. And he's going to go ahead and commit this. just going to go ahead and push this branch to, well, I don't know if it's going to work or not. Hopefully it should go to your GitHub.
Oh yeah, because we're different.
It won't.
It won't because it's one.
It's global, yeah.
If you did it on your actual computer, it will, but the setup that we did when we added Git to the shell asks that you map it
I'll-
to your account.
I'll do all
Okay.
those steps on my computer and then you'll
Okay.
sync at those. Okay.
Okay, so John's going to go ahead and do these steps on his computer because we just realized that it's still going to be me pushing it. Oh well. This might lead to something interesting and unexpected. So what he would do is what the next line here is, it says git push origin backend. Okay. Meanwhile, I want to undo a commit and add. Does anybody know how to go back completely? Anyone remember? You git stash?
Yeah, it's like one of those, yeah. It's a weird phrase.
Git stash, let's see. Oh well, we'll see what happens. You'll see the goal here. Okay, let me see, how do I do commit? So I think I can just git reset head to undo the last commit. Set head. Maybe. Oops. Hit the wrong thing. Get status. Okay, so I've undone all of that, and I'm just going to go ahead and delete his work so you can. Okay, so anyway, John will have pushed that branch. Did you already do it?
Git push origin.
So after he's pushed this branch, we can go ahead and I'll refresh this page here, and we should see that we have now 3 branches, right? We have a master branch, a back-end branch, as well as a front-end branch. So I'm done with my feature. I finished my front-end feature. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a compare and pull request. It's going to take me here. Now, pay attention to the base repository. I don't want to be making a pull request against Pursuit right now, because that's not my current project that I'm really working on. I want to make this pull request to the Corey Ladovsky. This is the my forked repository. And then I can write a little message. I can leave comments on my pull request. And then I'm just going to go ahead and create the pull request. So just pay attention to where it's actually being made. And now it says that I have 1 pull request. And if we go back to the code, our master, let's see, let me refresh. Well, that's interesting, right? Master should have the front end folder.
You didn't merge it. You only made the request.
Oh, okay, thank you. Right, I'm going to go to my pull request tab. Yeah, right. Doing both. Now, I shouldn't be the one merging it.
You can go to my accounts, like, because I'm still signed in.
Oh, yeah, okay, great. Okay, so I'm now John. I guess, John, you should be John. You should refresh. I don't know if it'll say do that.
All right, cool.
Okay. So John's going to go look at pull requests. No, not that. So tab. And he's going to go ahead and check my pull request,
Come here.
which is the one I made, right? You shouldn't be merging your own pull request. You should be getting reviewed and checked. And if John thinks that it's ready to be merged, he's going to go ahead and click on Merge Pull Request. You can write a message and you can confirm merge. Great. And now, if we go to master, code, let's go to code, right? Okay. We'll see that now our master branch has our front end, right? So John's going to do those exact same steps now from his back end. So he's going to go to, oh, I think we can do it from here. Yeah. Go ahead, John. So he's done his back end, right? So he's going to compare his pull request. He's going to add that in the folder. That looks good. He's going to create the pull. Oh, check the base repository. We don't want to go to join pursuit. We want to go to Corey Ladowski. He's going to create the pull request.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry. And then he's going to just let me know that he's made a pull request. I'm a different teammate now, right? I'm still Corey. I'll go back to my project. I'm going to just refresh here. And I see that there's a new pull request that says add backend folder. So I'm going to click on his pull request. And I'm going to look at it. I can really examine it. I can look at the files changed to see exactly what he added. I can leave comments, this looks great. Add single comment. It's like, all right, everything looks good. You can communicate through those, right? We'll go back, and I'm going to go ahead and merge your pull request because everything looks good. Okay, so now his pull request has been merged, and we can go to our code base here, and we'll see that now there's a back end and front end. So if I go over to my code here, where I've created my front end, and I'm still in what branch? I'm in my front end branch, right? I haven't done anything yet. But I already committed and I already pushed this branch and this feature's done. So I'm going to go back over to master now. So I'm going to say git checkout master. And then I'm going to go ahead and pull from master. So I'm going to say git pull, Perl, git pull origin master. And now I have his backend folder. So now if I wanted to work on a new feature, like let's say CSS, right? I would go ahead and start again with git checkout -b CSS folder, whatever. Yeah, Sim.
If you're in a master, like right now, and we're just in a master, and you created a new branch, CSS folder, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if you didn't want to do that? You just wanted to go back into the front of the branch. You just do the same thing, you check out -b front end.
So I wouldn't, good question. So let me go back. The way we switch between branches is just git checkout and then the name of the branch. The -b only means to make a new branch. So if I wanted to go back into the front end branch, not totally sure why, because I have already completed that feature, but if I wanted to go back in there, I would just do git checkout front end, because that's the name of the branch, and now I'm back in the front end branch. Yes?
So once like the front end is completely done, you don't want to look at that branch anymore, right?
Usually not.
So
No, I don't really want your branches to be back end and front end, right? Let me make that really clear. Like you want whatever feature you're building should be the name of the branch.
but then you can always let's say there was a problem with the code. You can
Mhm.
go back into it, fix that code in that branch, and continue working on it until that feature is done.
Definitely, yeah. You can definitely go back and keep working on things.
So you wouldn't fix it from the master branch?
No, but nothing should ever really be merged into the master branch if it doesn't work. Okay, that should be like the rule. So if you think about when you're gone to websites and like the next day there's a new feature, that website wasn't broken for like hours while they built that feature, right? They built that feature, made sure everything was working, and then they merged it in, and you're like, oh, now I can heart posts as well, right? So you really want your master branch to be the one that's like always working. So there's always a clean, safe branch. Okay, and that's going to reflect whatever you build. That's going to update. Any other questions on the branching or workflow? Well, you can do it different, but we recommend that. It will be easier. You probably don't want to be coding on the exact same file ever with somebody else, because then you're just asking for merge conflicts. So when you're splitting up work, you should be working on different files in your project. Okay, that's gonna save you some time, trust me. What else? Anything else? Jenya had something else. Right, everybody's at a different skill level. So like if you feel like you're weaker than other people in the group or you're overly strong, like just, do good teammate behavior, right? You can work together. You can still do pair programming within your team. Definitely tackle every part of the application. Don't just hide into your comfort zone. Really bad idea. This is a training program for your future career. It's not, let me look like I'm doing all right in class. That's not going to help your year from now, right? Like, you should really hit the things you're less confident about, but you can work with your team, right? But try not to talk down to people. I know it can be tough. Try not to get too frustrated. I know that can be tough. Don't feel bad by your own, if you're struggling yourself, like, don't feel bad. Like, it's a learning opportunity. Tell each other, communicate, right? Learn what everyone else has done so all of you can understand every line of the application, right? Try to make that your goal. Don't be like, I'm completely blind to everything else that happened, but I just know my part. Okay? Any other questions? Jenny, do you have something to add?
Yes, also, we do generally prefer if everyone works in a classroom, but if you feel everyone's loud, everyone's space, or if your proposals to find space to work, we don't want to see like someone just working on their own. If your group knows how to complexities, you all work together in a group, right? And one more thing is keep track of your bugs, keep track of the things you're proud of, because you could maybe, it's just generally a good thing when you work on a project that's a long, big project. It's always good to keep track of your hard bugs and your proudest wins in the project. Literally, like writing it down, because you will be asked about it later on interviews. And while you work on the project, you think like maybe like some bugs took like 3 hours to solve, and you think like, I will never forget that one. Like I don't need to write it down. Trust me, you will forget it. So like keep it somewhere, like written down, like, and also keep track of your teamwork wins as well, not just like code, but also like interpersonal, how you got to work with each other. It's also like a big integral part of interview as well.
Thank you. Yeah, remember the radical candor lesson from Ray, right? Like, use radical candor in your group. So it's a really good idea to start every day off with a stand-up. So you get together with your groups, figure out what you're going to start on first, tackle what you guys have to do, separate your work, what you've been stuck on, if you might need help, just so everyone can get on the same page. All right, and this is what we'll be doing for the rest of the week and more. Okay, any questions? Yes, Sin.
Just to be clear, you said you do not want to code today, you want to review our.
Not necessarily today. If your group is flying and you get approved by one of the three of us, then your team can start. Just make sure that you get approved. Come up to us, hey, we're done. Like, can you check over our stuff? Okay? Great question. Any other questions? All right, rock and roll. Get in your groups. Good luck. We got this.